guys! Hi! I know you guys are probably too busy to be watching this right now. Well, what are you doing any of that stuff? Come this way. Listen, this video is a review of this. I am an INFJ, and I am also an indigo child, and I'm also me. I'm a human being, just like you. And of course, we try different things to try and make the fabric of everything come together and work out right. And I tried something yesterday and I was like, I don't know how this is going to work out. But I remembered that I had tried it years ago when this video first came out, and I just thought, can it still be great? And look, this is the guy. By the way, how freaking cool is that name? Bruce Music. Bruce Music, thank you so much. I did the miracle method with my mom years ago, and I did it again with her yesterday in a completely different way. As a lot of people on this channel already know, my mom recently transitioned, and so now she's spirit. And I was in a low place yesterday, and I used this video and I did something that was really cool. I took a notebook, kind of like this one, and I followed Bruce Music's exact instructions, and oh my God, I felt so much better, you guys. I felt so much better. It was like, so many people, they want to feel better, so they drink alcohol. They want to feel better, so they drink coffee. They want to feel better, so they go out and they look at pretty people. They want to feel better, so they put on tight clothes. There's lots of little things you can do, but this really made me feel better. And what I mean by better is less like a failure. Sometimes you're working really hard and you know that you're doing things, but you don't feel like you've gotten a return on all your investment. It makes you feel like a failure. And the weird thing is when once you get to that point when you realized it and you can put a word to it, it gets so much worse. It snowballs and snowballs and snowballs. I used the miracle method yesterday, which includes, okay, so you write down all this stuff that's really frustrating you right now, right? You just off the top of your head, you don't go into any detail, just off the top of your head. I had so much stuff off the top of my head. I don't even understand how it was I was able to think yesterday. I had so much stuff that was stuck right here, and it was weighing me down, and I felt like I was going to cry most of the day, and I was just trying not to get to the place where it disseminates into actually bawling your eyes out. And I thought, oh God, this is going to be it. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to cry. And you know what? I did. And it wasn't as scary as it seems. So many times we're so worried about feeling bad that we actually feel worse than we would if we just hit it head on. And I was trying to dance all the way around it, and I was so frustrated because I have these really big choices I have to make. Well, it's one big choice, and there's two options. Go along with my degree and further my education, get into debt all over again. I'm still in debt. Get into debt more, actually worse than I already was, all over again, or change everything and go a completely different route, which is not, it's not a totally weird route for me, because I enjoy science very much. And I do enjoy health and all these different things, but it's a completely different career. And I was just like, oh, so frustrated. And I did the miracle method, which is basically you start off, you sit beside your partner. The partner is very important. If you don't have a partner, you can do this, you can do that, YouTube. You can do this, write it down, and you write down all the shit that's at the top of your head that's bubbling, that's kind of like when you make a soup. And, I don't do this that often anymore, but if you have to make like a bone broth, how all that stuff will bubble up to the top, it looks disgusting. All that shit that's at the top of your head, that's what you're writing down. That pond scum, you're going to skim it right the hell off, and then you write it down, right? And quick, the moment that you start going into detail, you have to get out of the detail. Well, I still got into a little bit of detail, but I held myself back. You know what happened? I felt so relieved by the time I got to the bottom of that one piece of paper. It was bigger than this. It was a regular notebook, But by the time that I got to the bottom of that one piece of paper, that one leaf, I felt so much better. It was incredible. I don't know why my eye is twitching right now. Try not to pay attention to that. And this weird thing happened where it was like, it's sort of hard to sit down sometimes. Sometimes you get really upset and you get deep into it, but once you manage to keep yourself on track and redirect more than 3 times in a row back to just that pond scum, just to the very top instead of getting down into the depths of it, there's this thing that happens where you get a little less emotional, a little less upset, a little less distraught, and you get a little bit more hopeful. But it's not hopeful like, oh, I don't know how it's going to work out. I just trust that it's going to work out, which is not a bad thing. It's actually a very good thing. But you get to this place where suddenly, the dots start to connect, things start to link up, and instead of just being distraught, you're being factual and you're being relevant instead of going down this rabbit hole of, my dog isn't feeling well. What if she's really sick? And what if it's all because of me not earning enough to take her to the vet as often as I should? Now, the truth is, I know that that's a lie because it wasn't about earning enough because I've been doing it on credit. If I had just took her to the vet and just paid for it outright, there would have been one vet visit and never again. So it's not about earning enough because it's been on credit. It's not about actual money. It's been debt from the beginning, bringing her places. So it's not about that. It's about confusing what's happening with my little dog, my little Shih Tzu right here, Jordan, with what just happened with my other dog. And that is what happened with my other dog, more or less. And it didn't even matter when I did earn more and I took her. It didn't matter how frequently I took her in. The vets that I had access to, that I knew who they were and I could pay for them, the vets that I could pay for didn't know what the hell was wrong with her. She died. And seeing my other dog, one of her sisters, feeling sick and not knowing what it is, it takes me right back to that place. Also, I'm physically in that place. So it was really, really hard to just stay on topic. But once I took myself out of that one sentence, suddenly all this other shit came pouring out. It was like this is going to be a really gross visual. It was like brown rain pouring down the paper. It was so quick and it was so easy. But then all of a sudden I realized that I had to curtail what I was writing because I started writing stuff like, and since I am here, I have this time to spend with her, and I'm really grateful for this time. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm not supposed to be grateful yet. I'm supposed to be unhappy. This is the unhappy pass. That's what happens sometimes when you write stuff down, but you have to give yourself the permission to accept that you might get upset. And it's not the end of the world. And you're not a wuss or whatever. Sometimes being upset happens. And it's not a bad thing. It's just a thing. It's like going to the bathroom. You shouldn't get beaten for doing that. And you wouldn't do that to somebody else. Don't do it to yourself. Well, thanks to Bruce Music's, sorry, that's my I have a desktop. This was one of my favorite designs that I made on whatever, that's something else. But once I did what Bruce Music said to do, by the end of it, I couldn't help it. I was already feeling a little bit better. And the weirdest thing was, in the space of like 7 lines of text that I had written, I had sobbed, I had stopped sobbing, I had cried, I stopped crying, and I was smiling. So, you get like a third of the way down, sobbing, bawling hard. My tears are hitting the page. They're all over my face. They're all over my hands, weeping. Everything is wet with tears. And then I get the second third down the page. And I'm like, well, it's really wonderful actually that I get to spend this time with her. Well, actually, if I had been doing better or if I had been getting more response from students, I wouldn't have even noticed that she was this sick. I wouldn't have been able to spend that time. So grateful for the time that we've had together. Wow, we've had years together. And besides the years, thanks to, you know, Palfish doing its stupid BS bullshit and the others doing their thing, I got to spend quality time with my favorite animals on the planet, my two little dogs. So grateful for them. I love them. I'm like, step out of it. Stop being grateful and happy. Get to the rest of the page. And I was smiling and I was laughing. First third, second third, bottom third, I couldn't wait to get to the next part. I couldn't wait to get to part 2. It's actually like a multi-step process, but you can put a timer on and you can get through the whole process in the space of this video, only 11 minutes. So here's the next thing. He says it's important to listen to your partner. You're holding the bucket. You guys are putting your metaphorical shit in that bucket. And then after that, now your partner takes it, they toss it out the window. Oh my God, I love that. And I thought, you know what? I have windows right here, but I can't use those windows because it's like one floor. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna be because I can be, I can be worried and a worrier and all that stuff. And I'm gonna be like, oh, I just tossed my emotional baggage out that window. I really hope it's being carried on the wind, whatever. And so instead of doing that, because then I'm gonna just imagine this metaphorical shit sitting outside my window. What if I did this? So I took this. And I thought, well, there's no bag on a stupid goddamn trash can. What else am I going to do? I know. I know what I'm going to do. And it was really cool and it was really gross and I did it and I'm so glad that I did it and I kind of wish I had filmed it. So I blew my nose on the paper. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm getting rid of it. What can I do to really feel like I can't actually set it on fire? This trash can isn't equipped for that. What can I actually do? I took that piece of paper out of the notebook. I blew my nose on it, realized quickly that there is a reason why we use tissue and not paper. Oh my God, that was uncomfortable. Also a little gross because the ink ran. And I tossed it in the garbage with tissue. And I just felt so much better. And the act of doing something that was so gross, but so, it's just so final. Like you can, if you, once you blow your nose on a piece of paper, you're never using it again. Okay. If you tear a piece of paper out of a notebook and you throw it in a trash can, you can go back in there. You can read it. You can take it back out if you're upset enough. People do that. I've seen people do that. I don't do that because I don't want to touch stuff out of the trash can, but still. So I did that. I was like, man, I can't wait to get to the next part. And it's, step after step, I just got happier and happier. And I wrote down a couple things I wanted to do. And one of the steps that's in there is a visualization exercise. It's not just visualization. It's use all your senses. So you assign some experience for your smell, your taste, your hearing, your emotional feeling, your physical feeling. You want to hear something so you can truly immersively experience this thing that you want to experience. Sorry. So I did that. And I did that with something. This is something that I did years ago. When I was 15 years old, at one point, I was just so tired of doing the lawn and a couple other things. I did a bad job one day on purpose because I was proud and I didn't want to tell anyone that my back really, really hurt. My back was in agony back then when I was pulling the weeds and everything. And it's a pretty big lawn, actually. And I just felt like, oh God, if I bring this up, there's all this stuff that's going to be taken away from me. Once people realize how sensitive my back is, oh no, they're going to take everything away from me. What am I going to do? So instead of being honest, instead of being grown up, whatever, I bead. I acted like my age of 15 at the time, and I threw it, meaning I did a terrible job on purpose. In the end, I actually did a much worse job than I meant to do because at one point I realized how bad it was and I felt really bad and then I wanted to salvage it, and instead of salvaging it, I made it worse. And oh my God, my dad has never ever gotten better from it ever. Um, and so recently I was saying, I'd really like to help out. I'd really like to. I was thinking, yeah, he's like, I wanted to have you pay for this and have you pay for that by now, but you don't, nothing's, I'm like, asshole. Uh, yeah, things have been pretty hard, but you know what? You know what I was thinking? I had some ideas about that. So I had a plan. I'm going to do the lawn. I'm going to pull the weeds. And I'm going to blah, blah, blah. And I went down this long list, and he's like, "Ooh, you in the lawn? Please, no." So I was like, "Hey, that was years ago. I'm 30. I was 15. Yeah, that's okay. I'll give you something else." I'm like, "Give me something else? Am I 15 again?" So I said, "Okay, that's what it's going to be. That's what I'm going to put on this list. I'm going to do a kick-ass job on the lawn. I'm going to make it look like a professional job." And I thought, hey, if it goes well, that will be the other thing I do. I'll do dog sitting. I'll do lawn cutting. Maybe I'll start a babysitter book club book called Little Sisters Babysitters Sisters Club, whatever it was called. That was one of the first series that I read. No, you can never use that to try and break into any of my passwords. I always make up stuff for my passwords. So, yeah, that's why it's hard for me. That's why I don't understand how someone still was able to break into my account and steal my information and change my birthday. It's like, what the hell? That was fake information anyway. Who guessed that? What? I couldn't even guess that half the time. I kept it changing. I was changing it every week. Never mind. Like Ralph Smart says, slow motion. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, I can't do it. Point is, well, he's obsessed with Matrix. That's why he can do it. That man loves the Matrix, the movie, not the real thing. Okay, moving on. I did it. I thought about it. Then he said, and here's the other thing: make sure that you record it. It's this. They've proven it scientifically. If your brain thinks that you're being listened to or knows that it could happen, you believe it, as though it's already been played back. So it's kind of like you're listening to it more deeply. Okay, cool. So I did that. I recorded it on my phone. And then I went through the whole process of feeling it in all those different ways one more time. And I just felt so good afterwards. And I thought I want to include a lot of other things on this list that I want to manifest, and just that, other than just the parking space. That's one that people always mention, or the free coffee. I would like someone to bring me a latte. No, seriously, I would like that to happen, like maybe every day. Seriously. But you know, actually I made something like that happen the other day with money. That was really crazy weird. But anyways, I was like, it would be really great to get a job, to get a call about a job. I'll put that down on there. Get a call about a job. And I thought, which job? And I realized I've been doing this now for so long, I gotta go. So I left, and I didn't specify. So it would be so cool to make something really happen, for something actually to respond to me. Yeah, I'm really putting myself out there. I'm filling out all these applications every day. I'd really love to start a career in something that I would be good at, something I would enjoy, something that would allow me to travel, something that would allow me to see my dogs every day, something that would allow me to have free time every day, not just like an hour here or a couple hours to watch TV or something before I go to bed or read or whatever. Something that allows me to really still have my day, but at the same time have the ability to say, today I did something that I loved and I got paid for it. Something that allows me to travel each day, but could maybe help me travel further every day and allow me to do the continued education that I might still want to do for either that or something else. And I have no idea what that would be. And I closed the book and I moved on. And today, this really cool thing happened. I got a call. It was from a photography assistant program where they train you and they pay you as you're getting trained. And I got the job. And then she said, well, you may have to travel around 100 miles a day. You have to be at these different schools at 6 a.m. sharp. You have to meet with the photographer. You have to meet with the photographer there. You don't ride with the photographer. You have to bring all the stuff back. You have to go back to headquarters, so to speak. And yeah, you need transportation in order to do that. But we really love to have you. And the minute you fix it up, the minute you get it, you can call this number, or you can go back to the website. But you could call this number. I felt so good to be appreciated for something that I'm good at, because I didn't have any real photography credentials to put up other than my photography that I have up on my website on Etsy. And she loved it. She really loved it. Or she loved me from what I wrote. I have no idea what I wrote. I wrote it, I meant it, I moved on. But I swear to God, I had already applied to that position multiple times from different angles. I applied for the new photographer position. I applied for the assistant position. I applied for the trainee mentorship position. I applied for every single position surrounding the photography aspect. And it wasn't until I did Bruce Music's video, I worked along with his video. And I'm just pulling this up so you can see it. It wasn't until I watched this man. It wasn't until I did this that I got that call this morning, and I just felt so great. And it was because of that that I was also able to log into my webinar for Preply, because I was convinced I had already missed it and I wasn't checking anymore. But after I got off the phone with that lady, I was like, you know what? I'm ready to try again. I'm ready to get back on again. It lifted my spirits, and I was able to get in on time, and I was able to actually speak with the instructors, and it went really, really well. I just feel like, so spec worked amazingly. If you haven't seen the spec video that I did, please watch it, or actually just go to that video and click the link that I put in the description so you can see UR Creator's channel and you can watch his spec video, because it was amazing. But spec worked really, really well. But I get obsessive about being someone who makes results and keeps winning or keeps doing a good job, and I wrap up my self-worth in that and stuff. So after a little while, it's like I need to put space from it, because the whole point of it, the reason why it works, is because you do it, you wish yourself well, you celebrate that you did it, and you move the hell on. That's actually why I was always so interested in different types of spiritual practices. But this, oh my God, this was really, really enjoyable. And it was almost kind of like a therapy, because I swear it just got rid of so much baggage for me. It helped me so much. I'm going to do it again later. And I think maybe the next time that I do it, it's a very deep thing to do. But I think maybe the next time I do it, I'm going to include you guys. I'm going to record it, because it's just a really crazy, cool, awesome thing. It has been 23 minutes. I have to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Anybody who watched up until this point, round of applause. And by the way, thank you guys. 2 new subscribers as of yesterday. I am off the wall happy about that. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much. Have a really awesome day. I promise to stop shouting now.